This is a pretty good picture here if you want to see this one. This is George whenever he did anything. So if it was baseball and he got a new mitt, he oiled it, wrapped it up, and slept with it, okay? There was one where there was a football. When he first got his first football gear, he was sleeping with his helmet on. The passion this kid has is outstanding.
Well, I would say that we didn't raise him to be an athlete, right? He did a little bit of everything. He had to play an instrument for at least a year. He did some choir, and he did some acting as well. So sports was what he wanted to do.
Yeah, he's very competitive, very into whatever he was doing. So if it was football, he had a passion for football. If it was baseball, he had a passion for baseball. Whatever he was doing at that particular time, he wanted to win.
I'd say I was a competitive one. You know, there's some moments, not only in high school, but as a young kid where I might get a little heated or I might get into it a little more than some of the other guys. So I'd say that kind of almost is a good trait though. I like to think I have like a perfectionist mindset.
I met George back when he started coming probably as a 4th grader to our summer camp. I don't know if George will remember this, or maybe he does, but we played strike knockout during our summer camp. And he would get so mad if he got knocked out during strike knockout that he would cry. That's my first memory of George.
I remember Rob Rooney, the head of long shots, called us, and George was in 6th grade, and had a discussion about whether we wanted to move him up, and we said no, because 6th grade is Cooperstown year. We thought it was really important for him to stay with his buddies that he's played with, you know, since he was in 1st grade, and do that Cooperstown trip. That trip, I think, was super meaningful for him and for our whole family and our group of friends here in the community.
I was walking out to the outfield because that's where the washrooms were. And I went out to use the washrooms, and I just came back. I was just coming back as he was coming up to bat. And I said, I'm gonna stay out here and video this one. His first at bat with the brand new bat he got, he hits one out of the park. You know, where was that field?
It was Memorial.
Memorial
right
Field.
Over here in
So we're like,
Grove.
oh wow, that's great, his first hit, you know? And then so what do? I'm like, if I video that one, I gotta video the next one. So the whole year, I was constantly on my phone videoing.
That was the moment where I knew that like that's the sport that I wanted to choose. And that's kind of at the point where I stopped playing football, started like strength training, and really kind of just started to invest my time into it. You know, in the Midwest climate, I think like you're forced to really just work and almost kind of like make do with what you have. Really almost kind of causes you to work harder, in my opinion. Like I think a lot of these Midwest guys, like either they don't get their fair opportunity because they're not seeing like a guy down in Florida or Georgia or wherever. So I think Midwest baseball is really underrated. Downers Grove is a great place to grow up. You know, great people, great community. A lot of my friends that I grew up with kind of all lived around here. We'd go bike like literally like 15, 20 miles a day, all around with our friends. We'd go to like Naperville. We'd bike over there and go just like jump in like random ponds and pools and kind of just really be all over town. Knowing that I was here like every day at the start of the year, and that like from, I don't know, March to now, just like the differences and all like the steps and changes. Coming back and just knowing that like I could be, or should be really in class still, it's definitely weird.
The decision to reclassify was huge. It was a really big decision, and it was a family decision just in terms of the effort that was going to have to go into getting him to that point and whether we felt that he was ready. And I think we made the right decision.
Some people don't realize all the pressure that the poor kid had, and even we didn't at times.
They've always treated him different. They've always treated him like he's an adult when he's not an adult.
But again, the fact that he was so young, and everybody saw him so, he's tall. He looks like a big kid. So everybody treats him like he's an older kid than he really is. Even to this day, he's still in the house, he's 17 years old, you know? And it's like, 17 years old, he can have a moment where he's not quite right, you know? But it's like, you don't expect that. As he drives to be a perfectionist like all baseball players do, we want the best out of him too.
I'm in a time in my life now where, you know, every little thing might matter too. And so just trying to kind of really start to refine and kind of learn who I am and start to just be more intent with everything and start to execute things. And I feel like just being a professional overall kind of helps a lot of those firsts. I'd say the biggest first is just like first time kind of treating the game like a professional. You know, and it started just showing up to Kannapolis for draft camp, like a week after I got picked, just showing up there and like starting to take BP, you know, not like a 17-year-old kid trying to hit bombs, but like a 17-year-old professional. Like on legacy terms, I kind of just want to be known as one of those players that when you think of Midwest baseball or you think of the state of Illinois or the city of Chicago, but really I just hope that down the road there's little kids that can look up and, you know, try to strive to be like me and really kind of just embrace that and be, you know, one of the greatest players to ever come from that area.